Okay. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mariam Waheed, your host for today's webinar, Manufacturing Systems, Planning to Real-Time Execution. We will explore how digital technologies drive industry. Over the next hour, our esteemed speakers will share their insights on the strategic applications and advancements that are defining the future of manufacturing. First, we will welcome Tarik Taman, a distinguished business leader with an
Thank you.
impressive 30 years of experience spanning technology startups and global enterprises like Oracle and Infor. Currently, Tarik is the general manager at O3AI, and he will talk about next generation factory systems. Welcome, Tarik. Following Tarik, we will have Olaf Hartwig, a world-class plant manager and a level 5 manufacturing leader. He also ran and transformed successfully over 100 factories worldwide, both as an owner and a consultant. Currently, he's a senior operations advisor at NEOM. Welcome, Olaf. Following Olaf, we will welcome engineer Saber Atiyeh, Chief Operations Officer at ODS. He is known for his expertise in operational excellence. He also has a rich background with impactful roles at O3AI and P&G. He will talk about O3AI and how it's different from other manufacturing systems. Now let's move to our first question. Tarik Taman. Tarik, since you have decades of experience working in software industry, could you please let us know what does planning to execution mean in the context of Industry 4?
Be my pleasure. Thank you, Miriam, for having us, and look forward to being on the panel with Olaf and Saber. So I've been in the digital transformation business for a couple decades across many industries. And in the world of manufacturing or heavy industry, there's a major transformation going on. And that really has a lot to do with the lack of investment on the shop floor, not in machines and automation, but in software that orchestrates everything from source to customer, from sheep to shelf. And so typically, most corporations in heavy industry have spent a lot of time and money optimizing their corporate systems, planning systems, from HR to supply chain to inventory, etc. They've also typically spent a lot of money and time and effort going through a sort of outbound digital transformation, logistics, and everything it takes to take your product and take it to market itself. And what is really missing is shop floor orchestration, production orchestration. There were some sort of legacy companies that are known in the world as MES systems, manufacturing execution systems. They were a good start some time back, but largely they only covered 30–40% of the operational blueprint on the shop floor. And most importantly, they didn't really link the transformation from planning to execution. And so if we think about that, digital transformation, Industry 4.0 really is defined as throughout your entire value chain, everything is not only electronic or digital in the handshakes between the information and the processes, but it needs to be smart. And so as systems and processes come together, they really need to be able to dynamically, constantly optimizing. So we know from the supply chain world that most new warehouses and distribution centers are going up autonomous, oftentimes called dark. The only people in many of these distribution centers are data scientists trying to constantly optimize the flow of inventory to customer satisfaction and profitability. The world of manufacturing is heading that way as well. So if your MES / what is known now as MOM systems, manufacturing operational management systems, doesn't cover your entire process model and isn't compatible with coexisting with the investments that you have now, you're not going to get to Industry 4.0 or a pure digital transformation. And so when customers and when what the marketplace is looking for now is really three things in a operational execution system. Number one, it has to be connected to every machine, connected to every signal, connected to every camera within the organization. Number two, it has to be a co-pilot. The AI has to make to every single process holder what is the next thing that they should be doing, listening to the machines. And so if there is a component in a machine where the RPMs are out of tolerance, it is the AI which should be telling the maintenance technician with the right skills what to do, where to do it, informing the operator, etc. And so you have to bring together connectivity with artificial intelligence, which these days, any investment technology, AI needs to be the heart of the solution itself. And finally, what's important to most manufacturers really is moving forward in their journey of continuous improvement, oftentimes called lean or operational excellence. Most companies who have been through an analog or paper-based lean transformation will tell you almost every operational metric in the company has improved from 3 to 30%. And those are move the needle, kind of change the economics of manufacturing themselves. And so if you have the opportunity as you embrace smart factory software to have the entire operating model, the entire co-pilot model be driven by the underlying lean processes that Olaf and Saber will mention a little bit later on in this webinar, that's where the value comes from. So the investment in smart systems in a factory is where most of the benefit comes from, is lean. So you have to have AI and connectivity. You have to have a co-pilot that's driving each stakeholder. And finally, you have to be able to drive underlying lean processes to get the value, to really make your organization both more profitable with top-line growth and more profitable with bottom-line cost of goods sold reduction. So with that said, Mariam, let me hand it back to you as we go to Olaf and Saber.
Great. Thank you so much, Tarik, for your insights. So could you emphasize more on what is the plant operational team looking for in the next generation factory systems?
Yeah, so I kind of alluded to a few moments ago, but what a typical factory is looking for is, number one, to be able to coexist with their systems and investments. And so if you already have a quality system or a planning system or a maintenance system, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to continue to use those solutions and augment them with a proper next generation smart software system. So not having to change your systems of your processes all at one time, kind of the crawl, walk, run theory when it comes to embracing technology is extremely important. The second is that the machines should tell the right department or the right stakeholder what to do and how to do it. I gave an example of a machine RPMs or pressure going out of tolerance. The system itself should be telling you how close you are to being out of tolerance, what the operator should do in order to avoid a defect, who in the management team should be able to do it, to the extent that every single product that you produce, you should be able to get a total delivery cost of this item run on this run with this operator, bringing together complete scorecard for your company from the CEO and board of directors all the way to the operator, knowing what their goals are and how do they achieve their outcomes. So in my shift, I need to produce X amount of product. In order to do that, I need to have an OEE of A, and I need to be able to have a speed of Y. And so if it's not, if the system isn't smart enough to help every single stakeholder on the process floor, it's incomplete, and you can't get the digital transformation or the industry 4.0 completely paperless and completely on its way to autonomy. And so thank you for that question. I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you so much, Tarik, for your insights. Now let's move to Olaf Hartwig. Olaf, as per your great experience in the manufacturing sector, what are the daily activities conducted on the shop floor?
Thank you for the introduction, Mariam, and also Tarik. Well, let me take you through 6 practical functionalities of the MOM on the shop floor. And before we start, let's remind that it's all about the maturity, and in this described transformation that Tarik described, it's all about the maturity levels, and for each of the maturity levels, whether we come and start with today paper and pen, or we are already partly digitized, we will get there. On our first level and first layer on the workstation, we rather give all information to the operator to control his workspace perfectly. We kind of replace a supervisor function. We try to give fast and equivalent information on time to the operator in terms of his work instruction, the recipes, his current performance, what he's going to work on, the work order that he's currently working on, and of course the way he's all the information on his workspace is given to him. What's the real gain is that for the management and for the production management, that the operator gets really quickly acquainted with his environment, much easier to interact with him, with the system, to get information, not waiting for anyone physical to come by. And we also have on the return a lot of real-time information that he's going to enter, and also the system is going to work out, which gives us the chance in the management to react immediately if something goes wrong, if he needs additional training, and we can see these deviations real time. So we can really interactively work with him, and the system is helping us to keep up with the information. Going to our level, in case of the manager, production manager, line manager, and even quality and maintenance, the OEE is the measurement that we all want to trace. And in this example here, in this particular one, we see an availability of 65, a performance of 50, a quality of 94, which makes an OEE of 31%. And that's, for example, possible for each machine, for a line, for a whole section of a plant, and for an entire plant, depending on the level of integration that we want to see. But we can here gain the real-time comparison to standards, what is going to be our, maybe what Tarik said, a direct interaction. We get maybe an information, an alert, and we are in the line management, production management, plant management, able to react immediately. And that's the 24/7 existing data. That means all the time when we need, we can access this data from anywhere. Now, now we can move to the details of the OEE. So first, the availability, the most important component and mostly damaging our OEE is the availability of machine, people, line, whatever we monitor. And here the transparency of the root causes and the maybe symptoms that we measure, why we have micro stoppages, real downtimes, breakdowns, etc. And we can, with a system in the level of the MOM, we can monitor this even automatically. We can put the respective sensorics, and the main root causes that we have in these cases, we can really monitor them automatically. Of course, also an interaction by the operator to enter downtime reasons can be helping us. But as I said, for standard downtimes, it's in most cases not even necessary that the operator gives any inputs. So that's the real gain is here, that the root causes can be already displayed on a Pareto, and we can find out easily where we have to interact and maybe where we have to take an action. Yeah. Yeah, after the availability, let's move to performance. Performance is about, yeah, what the operator needs to know, targets of parts or throughput per hour. Is he on track? Does he have any deviations from the standard? And the charm of the system is that we don't only run behind an ERP standard, let's say that was calculated with an OEE target of 80% or 75% as given standard and objective, but we can also run here a real-time OEE and a real-time, performance that we know what is the, without any OEE, maybe we have 100% in this case performance during a specific shift because we don't do any tool changes, we have no deviations, we are conform, so we can even over exceed standards, and that's the charm of the system in the shop floor. We can run it real time. So this is in performance most important. We give the operator a direct feedback. And if there is any anomaly detected, we can also let the system learn from our inputs, and the operator is capable to communicate with the system through his HMI and give another level of standard back to the standardization pool, increases efficiency in the end. Last but not least, the quality component in the OEE, where we monitor, as it was mentioned, A-grade quality, first pass yield, whatever you call it. Secondly, some rework and scrap, and where we can also most probably imply a cost and allocate a cost to that quality defect so that we can have, as a plant manager, production manager, full overview of the efficiency of the operation of today, and in quality, ability to react if these factors like rework or scrap go out of standard, because also here we have to compare always in real time against a standard deviation that we would allow the production to have. And we are again alerted if something goes out of standard, and the root cause analysis that we need to do in order to improve the situation and bring it to preventive state. So this is also possible by, let's say, the real-time information that we have, and we can immediately start to react and to make a containment action, and also to prevent for next time these things to happen. To sum it all up, in the command center, we have 24/7 control, and we are in a position to also reflect regularly, sometimes in a shift handover, sometimes in a daily meeting, sometimes in a weekly meeting, depending on the escalation level. And we can see the full picture if we want end-to-end, all the connected processes in the plant. If we want to see a single machine unit or a section, also possible. And then here we can discuss maybe the actions that we need to take in order to correct the situation, or if we have any other decisions to take, and give new targets and maybe even new work orders or new objectives to the line, to the station. This is all possible, and that's why such a control room or command center is also vital to the success story of implementing an MOM. Yeah, that's the first comments. Hope I could enlighten you a little bit on what are the possibilities with this functionalities. And of course, every sensor, every camera, every gate, every counter is necessary in order to automate these data collections and to have a full real-time picture of non-value adding and value adding activities. And that's what it is. It's a full transparency. That's what I wanted to show. Full transparency on the shop floor.
Great. Thanks, Olaf. So then, what is the path to transformation, and how do we plan to achieve it?
Okay, yeah, this digital transformation are living not only of a system, they are living of people, process definitions, and all this kind of development in different maturity levels. We have in numerous cases managed such transformations. It's something like hard work, I can say, but also very rewarding in terms of people capability building. And it's actually very visible that people like standards. and it's for them easy to go if they understand the standard, and the transparency we give, like I showed in the workstation example, helps to do such transformation and to also improve the speed and accelerate transformations, because the acceptance is easily catched and the interaction with an HMI is for many people more easy, especially for new on foreign operators, than it is maybe when you do it in people format. And as Tarik mentioned, Lean has definitely helped to forge the ground, but what we and the paper and pen Lean has helped organizations to learn about the performance improvement and how that goes. However, with our digital acceleration, catalyzation, and enhancement, we can easier understand current situations, can build patterns, and with data enforce, or let's say help the organization to decide quicker, and also delegate decisions further down, which is easier for the management, like a plant management, a COO, and operations management, to see things moving and changing, because it gives a lot of security to people to decide if the data is available. And some numbers just for our heads. While with classical paper and pen, we could improve an OEE from 40 to 50, from 50 to 60%. With a digital tool, we can easily move this improvement by 50 to 100% up. So we can move from a 40 to 60, from a 50 to 70% OEE within 1.5 years maximum. That's really big achievements what we have seen in the cases we've done, and also in the whole transparency and scalability, it gives us the acceleration, because we can, if we have a pilot line or a pilot cell where we have introduced an MOM, we can easier scale it to other areas than it was possible with paper and pen, because there we had to do the whole investigation again, and here we can use standard patterns of data analytics in order to be able to decide quicker. So all overall, the transformation is built on people, process changes, and a certain acceleration that we can achieve with an MOM. And when I say this about the results, it's something that I've really seen, and we have proven that the results are faster and better than with the paper and pen-based transformation. So from that point of view, only green light for the digital transformation, and I hope all the audience will support these arguments in the back. Yeah. Thank you, Mariam.
Thank you, Olaf. Thank you so much for your insights. Now, coming to engineer Saber Atiyeh. With your vast of experience in digital transformation, we would like to hear your thoughts on these questions. What is O3 AI and how it's different from other manufacturing systems? Also, what benefits O3 AI can provide for factories?
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mariam, and all the team working on this webinar. And thank you to have this chance. And it's always my pleasure to be with Tarik and Olaf. Thank you for the great insight from both. And to answer your question, I will be building on what already Tarik said and also Olaf. O3 is a digital platform which is adapt the technology, the digital era, IoT solutions, and all of this. We adapted with operation excellence, following the global standard for operation excellence. When I'm talking about operation excellence, I'm talking about the Lean principle and Six Sigma, and how this, by integrating all functions across the value chain in the synchronized way and with the pull mode. With this end-to-end integration across the value chain, you guarantee that you have one as a calibrated single point of truth, which is the O3 AI platform. And this platform will be taking from all these functions and making all the processing as per the global standard of Lean, to start feeding all functions about their next step and actions. So it is following the BDCA cycle to guarantee the close of the loop. When you are asking how this is differentiated from, I would say, other systems, Here we are talking about the content, which is the backbone in which we put and we develop about the global standard of operation excellence in different aspects. And these operation excellence in different functions with the synchronized way guarantee that it will take the data, the real life, real data that, as Olaf was saying about that, you have that transparency from the shop floor. We are taking these data and start managing these data according to the content of the lean principle to get the right value for the shop floor, for the management, for the executive. So you will see everyone is calibrated about these actions, and they are adding the right value to the business. With this system, you start optimizing your processes because you are taking in your consequence, all the consequences in your processing. You enhance also the decision making by taking by real life data to the right person to enable him to take the right decision on time. It drive innovation. We are always asking any organization, our team, we need to drive, we need to have more innovation. We cannot enable them if they don't be having the digital era with the content itself to help them. Let's talk about AI, which I will explain it in the next slide about O3. Without the foundation, the AI cannot help you if you don't have the right content. Only with the connectivity and having the real data without the content, the context, AI cannot add that exponential value, what I would say. And this is what we prove in our O3 AI that we start working on it. In addition to enhancing the culture of continuous improvement. And here I will emphasize on the culture and how you enhance that one, because in O3 AI, you start also touching about the culture and behavior by connecting all the performance, what Olaf was talking about, how you connect this performance with the reward and recognition, how you guarantee everyone he knows how he is contributing to deliver the overall objective, or I would say vision of the organization. With these, the organization, any business can be competitive in the market and also can be able to adapt all market dynamics in agile way, and accordingly they can accelerate, I would say, their business growth. So this is the main, I would say, benefit that can deliver by having all of integration between the, I would say, technology and the digital era IoT with the lean principle, which O3 AI managed to combine them. And I will go to more details about the methodology that we used in building the O3 platform. As you can see, it's following this principle of get organized, get connected, then get insight, and then to move to get optimized. In Get Organized, it's about the content, which is the operation excellence, the lean principle, the Six Sigma approach, how you design, I would say, the systems itself in synchronized way. And this is the most important thing to guarantee the right, I would say, most optimized efficiency in your process. And also in the pull mode. So it's driven by the use case. And this is one of the main differentiator for O3, that it's driven by the business use case. It's driven by the business need itself. And based on that systems that we developed, we put the IoT solution, what we call it about the Get Connect, to guarantee that we have real life data and reliable data to be managed according to what you have in your system. So your daily experience, you will translate it to the real value, because the system will be smarter and smarter every day from your experience. And in the Get Connect, it's not only that we connect the machines. I will emphasize also here what Olaf said, and also Tarik, about its people connecting people and connecting processes and machines. So here we connected different systems like CRM as an example, or ERP, what Tarik was saying about the systems that around the shop floor transaction, it need to be integrated with the shop floor. So we integrate all systems, we integrate people through smart workflow and smart notification and the racing matrix. We connect the machines and also different functions, quality with safety, with operation, with supply chain, and even with sales. So with this, you guarantee you don't have scattered, I would say, systems in different area, you will have only one platform integrating all these systems on the right way with the real life, real data. About the Get Insight, it's much more than visualization. It's not only to visualize these data, and this is also another thing that we are building in O3 as a differentiator, that start taking these data on the right pattern, which is the content of operation excellence that we built it there. And not only operation excellence, about the integration between different systems. So you start having the right pattern of your data to enable the decision maker to take the right decision and on time. In addition to that, enabling the organization to start correlating different process parameters from different functions. And this is how you integrate different functions. It's not only about machine that you correlate data or correlate process parameters about the machine. You need to correlate this with the quality. You need to correlate this with the supply chain. Keep in mind, one of the main objective of O3 is about improving productivity. And when we are talking about improving productivity, we are talking about reducing cost. We are talking about increasing efficiency, effectiveness, delivery on time, and the right quality, reducing waste. All of this is about enabling the organization how they can correlate different process parameters from different organization, different functions, and enable them to make the right optimization rather than it's a trial and error with a lot of cost and there is no end about the results. Based on that Get Insight, it will follow the Get Optimize. And here, when we are talking about Get Optimize, we are talking about the AI and machine learning. You can imagine if you have all these foundation in terms of the content, real data, and the right integration across the value chain, then AI start and machine learning start giving you an exponential value. We have, through our validated cases that we implemented, that we delivered with operation excellence, the highest score of OE, and with the digital, we start having that there is a room of improvement, as Olaf said, about transparency of real data, but with the AI and machine learning, it's a new era. It's to optimize trillions of data with the right content. What is the golden batch? What is the right recipe? What is to move your organization from reaction mode to predictive mode and even to prospective mode? And translating, as I said, all your experience, all your daily work, all these data will be translated to the right value by making the system smarter and smarter, building on that you have the full integrated system with O3 AI system. That's it about how I'm seeing what is O3 and how it is adding the value and differentiate from other systems. For you, Maria.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Sober, for your incredible insights.
Thank you.
Now, everyone, let's move to questions and answers. Everyone is welcome to ask any question. You can put in the chat, and our speakers will try to answer as many as possible.
Well, maybe I can ask Saber a question if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Saber, many of our customers are reporting reduction in unplanned downtimes by 30, even 50%. How is that possible with an AI-driven maintenance and manufacturing operational management solution?
It's a great one. Thank you. Thank you for this question, Tariq. Actually, for the unplanned downtime, by utilizing the traditional way, it's only about analyzing of the spare part that already installed on the line, about the line condition. Yet it's not considering the all, I would say, circumstances around that process, because you need to take in consideration not only about the planned downtime, you need to take related to the machine, you need to take it related to the production order, to take it related to the changeover, the type of SKU, the type of raw material, how to include the raw material part of that one, how to include the circumstances related to the environment about it from different processes that it is happening. And this, the only way to capture all these process parameters from different functions is the AI and machine learning. And with the AI and machine learning, with the right context that it's put, it start giving you how you move this from reaction mode, which is unplanned downtime, to be proactive, so you can add it in your maintenance on systematic way. And in addition to that, to perspective, so you can also having that notification and that trigger and what was the most suitable solution related to that specific one. So this is mainly how AI make a different era, I would say, exponential value versus the traditional way of, I would say, analysis for the unplanned downtime. I hope I answered you, Tariq.
I think so. With that, I know that there's a question coming up, and Mariam, I'll let you answer that in a moment. But Olaf, maybe I can ask you a question as well. You've got a couple decades implementing lean, both in the plants you managed, as well as externally as you are a strategic advisor. You've told me you have yet to see a plant where you weren't impacting top or bottom line with just analog lean by 5% or more. So a similar question to Saber is, how can a paper-based lean give that much value at a macro basis? And why were you always successful getting that kind of return on investment?
Tarik?
Yes.
So that
Go ahead.
I got it. Yeah. So in the end, the inefficiencies that we find are multiple and numerous, and everyone in operations knows that there is inefficiencies, and some of them are even unavoidable. But with the classical paper-based lean approach, we were able to, let's say, enhance the capability of the organization to create continuous improvement cultures and to be, let's say, sustainable in that regard. So the 5%, even 10 to 15% possible. However, in the as I mentioned before, the digital age, this is because of scalability and building on what Taber just said, even easier comparing and analyzing different situations, different lines with the same patterns. We can easier access the data, interpret it right, and take the correct decisions for change. And so our change frequency is easily improving, and so our result frequency is improving, and we are really becoming a more mature plant in a shorter time with that MOM world. That's really the big gain. And I can say, even building on that, what we learn on top is how to increase efficiency of the indirect organization. As I mentioned, even supervisory functions can be resteamed by the system. And last but not least, the material tolerances can be monitored in a better way. That is the improvements that we saw while implementing an MOM digital tools in the shop floor, that we bring it to a maturity where the standards are kept, but we are even opening that corridors, indirect structures and material cost tolerances. This is really a big gain of the digital solution. Yeah.
If you don't mind me, if there's no other questions, Mariam, maybe I can make a quick comment. I mentioned I've been in the software industry as the executive sponsor for many digital transformations in many industries around the world. The reason I asked Saber and Olaf that question is I've never been associated as a GM or CEO for any technology that's had this kind of return on investment. When we talk to our customers, the average return on investment is 500%, and some of our customers are getting much more than that. And so it comes to my understanding of the lack of digital maturity on the shop floor across industries. And I'm happy to say that every one of our customers usually pays for the entire program within a few months. And so that's all I've got.
That's great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving forward to the questions coming from the audience. First question we received goes for Tarik. What is the difference between corporate and shop floor solutions?
So corporate systems are largely planning systems, which is, how do I plan my sales forecast? How do I plan my inventory MRP? How do I plan my facilities? And those planning systems are helpful. You may even have a corporate planning system around let's call it planned maintenance, because every ERP system has some kind of an asset management system. But if the planned maintenance isn't reacting in real time to the thousands of signals that are coming at you, you can't react. You're not managing the shop floor. It's another best of breed solution. Similarly, you can go out and get a best of breed solution for the shop floor. And in fact, that's kind of the history of whatever automation or orchestration is. Customers will build or buy different siloed best of breed solutions, but it doesn't bring together that digital transformation, that value chain of an electronic or digital handoff between each element. Doesn't get rid of the paper, doesn't get you to one source of the truth. And so essentially corporate systems stop at planning and stop at the shop floor and end at the transfer or delivery out the door, but not really for production orchestration. One last comment about that: how difficult it is to build a system that not only drives automated lean, which means every time there's a defect, it automatically creates a non-conforming report, an NCR, or a fishbone, or a 5 whys, all of the standard elements associated with lean. It automates the creation of each of those elements, assigns the right project team. And so that kind of a holistic management on the shop floor, driven by the tags coming off machine. We have one customer that has 50,000 tags going into O3 5 times a second. You have to be able to digest all that information, apply AI to it, and then make a recommendation of the next best action to whoever the process holder is. And so corporate systems aren't built for that. Connecting to machines is not, not easy. You have to be able to have that as a core competence or a muscle. And we have yet to see a MES or MOM system that drives the operational excellence or lean execution that O3 AI does. And so, Saber or Olaf, do you have anything to add to that question that may be a little more based on your lots of years experience in managing plants?
No, I fully agree. Actually, yes, exactly what you said. And this is how O3 AI is building over and above what you said, the planning, because you need to integrate again about the full value chain. Fully agree.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Saber, and thank you, Tarik. Okay, here's another question, and it goes for Olaf. It says, if you are a plant manager, what would you be looking for in next generation smart manufacturing solutions?
Yeah, very good question. Exactly what the plant manager wants to know here. Now, to give the responsibility actually in a faster and in a smarter way back to the operator. We have seen that in our lean transformations, and now I would like to know how I can catalyze and, let's say, accelerate this responsibility sharing with the shop floor, the operator, by giving him the information, by letting him decide, by moving him towards the edges of the tolerances to be able to take a lot of decisions on his own and be more or less independent, autonomous for the time when he's working at machine line in his workspace. And that would be my first interest, and that's what the biggest gain of the real-time information is for me, that a lot of escalation cases can be avoided. So in the end, the autonomy of the shop floor, I would say that's the most important gain, and maybe in a faster way that I said than the paper-based version, right? Because we are following and giving permanently the information, and it's not only in a training, and it's not only when there is a physical person on site to help, but here it's also the system support that tremendously helps to be autonomous. Yeah. that would be my view. I don't know, Saber or anyone wants to add to that.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
clear.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Olaf. One more question. This question goes for Tarik. Do we need MES if we have ERP system, SCADA system?
That's a very good question, and it's a hard thing for most companies to understand. What's the line of demarcation from your upstream systems and your downstream systems? And so typically on a shop floor, you need to bring in product configuration or attributes. You need to bring in a cost dictionary. You need to bring in inventory. You need to bring in a bill of materials, a plan. All of these things need to come or should come in an ideal world in real time to be able to get the data, to be able to optimize the decision. What's the recommendation to the right person at the right time with the right action? And so an ERP system doesn't really come down to the shop floor. I mentioned that most ERP systems have a maintenance solution, so they're generic. But that when it applies to a machine, what does it do in real time? What is it driven by a tag? How does the maintenance drive a defect or a lien in non-conformance? How does your CRM solution and a customer complaint drive a refund or to your customer? How do you avoid all these things altogether? And so you need lots of data from your corporate systems, from your CRM solutions to your MRP and DRP solutions, and then that's how you integrate to a lean operational excellence platform that orchestrates everything, everywhere, all at the same time. And that's not easy to build or do from an ERP system. In fact, I've yet to see an ERP system handle 80% of what's needed on a shop floor.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. Okay, here's another question, and it goes for Saber. How does O3 typically improve productivity?
Okay, clear. Finally, in productivity, it's how you can improve your efficiency, your effectiveness, your agility. Not only about increasing the throughput, reducing the waste, reducing the cost. It's also about your customer experience, how you improve your customer experience. It's about your employee engagement, how you can improve your employee engagement. So O3, as we said, it's targeting the autonomous enterprise. And in this autonomous enterprise, you will start focusing with, I would say, operation excellence content that built there with the real life reliable data connecting all other systems. Start putting the AI and machine learning, which is the O3 AI. All of this, now it starts identifying your main losses and start identifying, enabling and driving the organization, how they would reduce these losses by improving their efficiency, improving their effectiveness to deliver on time, reducing the waste, improving the quality, customer experience. When we are talking about the customer experience, you are talking about not only that your customer, you are providing him the right quality and that's it. It's much more than that. It's about also, I would say, everything adding value to your client, everything adding value to your customer. One of it is jointly innovation. Jointly innovation, it cannot be that you are not connected with your customer. And this is how you expand your ecosystem. Not having, I would say, the real life data that will be managed together. I'll give you one example, quick example. I will not take time. Before a couple of years, all of us, we are using taxis, and even our families, they are using taxis. And at that time, if you send your son or you are going to the street to take a taxi, it's normal for you to wait for 5 to 10 minutes, right? You will not be frustrated if you are waiting for 10 minutes to take that taxi. Nowadays, with all these applications, I will not mention names. If you go and make your trip and you book it, and immediately the system, the application will start giving pops up that the driver arrived, this is his name, this is his car type, color, all of this. This is customer experience. If you go down and you did not find him for 2 minutes, you will not accept that. And this is what do I mean about life and world is changing, and this is coming for manufacturing, this is coming for operation, it's coming. And for sure the behavior, you need to adapt for the new behaviors. So if you don't have that digital era from now, you will not be able to compete. And this is the message, that the customer experience now, it's changing all your customer behavior, and you need to be ready for the right customer experience. Employee engagement, you need to guarantee that everyone, he knows his target and how he is participating with the overall objective, and how they are collaborating together. It's not that everyone has different target with a different silos. And this is what O3 AI provide, the integration, not only end to end of, I would say, machines or functions, also people, also processes. And this integration, it's only happen if you have on one calibrated platform as a single point of truth, taking all into consideration all other functions, consequences, and impact. So productivity, it's by the integration of lean concept, the content driven by the digital era and the IoT solutions.
Great, that's clear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Saber. Okay, let's move to another question. And this question goes for Olaf. You emphasized more on OEE, and we have issues in performance in our plant. Can you give us an example to improve performance?
Okay, very good question. Yeah, OEE, exactly. OEE is our monitor to see the efficiency of machine, line, section, even the whole plant, as I pointed out. And in your case, if you have a performance issue in the plant, in this case, most probably a line balancing, that means an analysis of the value adding and non-value adding activities, waiting times, everything around the workstation, the line is gonna help. And when we look into the digital tool, if you have such a tool in your shop floor, similar to an MES, even recommended to do the line balancing exercise, the Yamasumi chart, in a digital way. That means observing 24/7 the situation, value adding, non-value adding times by the system, and comparing that to your objective, and seeing from that analysis a lot more insights than you could read it from a, let's say, paper and pen based analysis that you do over a certain period of time. In some instances, you can have a much better transparency. So I recommend you to be focusing on people's value adding and non-value adding activities first of all, as a basic operation when you go into that. And with the digital tool can be even a much bigger database that you use for that decision. That would be my recommendation in this case for performance, and in 9 of 10 cases that works pretty well. And if it doesn't, please call us, we will find another option what to do.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mariam, I just, if you're real quickly, I just saw a question on the question list, and maybe I'll direct it to Saber. The question that was asked is, how do we connect the board of directors to the operator in a way that is valuable to any organization?
Great question. Thank you. Thank you, Tarik. Here, I would refer back to what I said, that everyone will understand how he is contributing the vision. And I will call it that the CEO vision to be live on the shop floor. It's mainly that O3 AI as per the content, which is the operation excellence, we cascade down the vision to several KMIs. And in each KMI, key management indicator will start cascading down to several KPIs, key performance indicators. And each KPI will cascade down to several KAI, key activity indicators. In key activity indicators, it's for the shop floor, the people who are on the front line. And these people, you will not mislead yourself and start giving them a measurement or a KPI that they need to calculate. He need to count to make it easier for him. Yet with this target, if you deliver this target, you guarantee if everyone deliver KPI, you will deliver the KPI, which is the key performance indicator that could be with the line manager, with the process engineer. And if all these KPIs is delivered, you are delivering the KMI because it's cascading down the key management indicator. And if KMI, you are delivering the objective, the vision of the organization. So this link cascading down, in addition to that, everyone, he will have his target, either KI or KPI or KMI. With this, they will start understanding that first, he has his target. In AI, in O3 AI, you enable him with the right tools, how he will manage versus the current status, because you are enabling him, you give him the current status through the digital era, and you are giving him the target, and you enable him with the right tools, which is O3 AI. So accordingly, he will be able to deliver his target and will be able to integrate it with other targets. You can imagine if you don't give him everyone the right KPI, the right target as per O3 AI. So people will be frustrated, they will be lost. If you give them the target and you are not giving them the current status of their measure, they will not be able to deliver it. If you are giving them their target, you are giving them the current status with the digital era, but you are not enabling them with the right tools, how to correlate these process parameters, how they make the analysis to capture what Aluf was saying about the root cause. And after capturing the root cause, how you link this root cause with the action that it's implemented, with the outcome from that action. Was it adding the right on the right track or not? How they will get the learning. So all of this, it's a matter of package that AI, O3 AI can enable the organization to drive delivering this. So this is mainly how you can see the CEO vision live and in the DNA of everyone on the shop floor, on offices, offline and online. I hope I answered you, Tarik.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Saber.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tara, for your question. Okay. Thank you so much to all our speakers and all our attendees for joining us today. We hope the shared insights will prove valuable and that you will be able to implement some of these strategies into your factories. If you have any further questions, please do let us know through email and do not hesitate to communicate and we will get back to you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Saber. Thank you, Tarik. Thank you, Olaf. Thank you, Nasser, for the organization. Bye-bye.